What's up, nail friends? My client Kirsten is back. She sends me photos. This is what I ultimately chose to do on this set that I'm gonna do, but Kirsten sends me a pile of photos and lets me either come up with my own thing based on what she sent me, or I can pick between the photos. So I actually decided to do this one, basically try to recreate it the best of my ability. Normally, like I said, I would just throw a bunch of colors or a bunch of things together based on what she sent me, but I really liked that design. And lately I've been liking doing chrome designs on top, like not a full nail of chrome. And I wanted to try that because she often sends me photos with like chrome lines in it, and I'm always so intimidated I don't do it. But I wanted to surprise her this time and show her I actually have been practicing, and yes, we can do chrome lines if you want that. So her nails have gotten quite long. She goes like 4 weeks or more. She's a hairdresser, so she sometimes gets staining on her nails. So we don't normally go with matte nails, but the design I did, I really wanted to do matte, and she said she would wear gloves, so we'll see how she does. I'm shortening her nails to the length that she likes. I'm not worrying about the shape and just shortening them with my e-file to start, and filing down her past design. So I like to file down thin and reapply and basically do a full rebalance. Because it's 4 weeks, I'm not really just filling in the back anymore. I am filing down thin, checking for pocket lifting and any kind of lifting around the cuticle area, and then doing a full rebalance. So here you see me just filing everything down thin, and then I'm going to prep. Oh, actually, I'm going to shape. So first I'm going in with my metal file board with refills on it. So this is a board that you can take the files off and throw them away and then replace them every client. So make sure you cleanse and sanitize your metal file. But anyways, I'm going in with 150 to shape the free edge. And I'm going to be doing this video all in real time. Nothing has been sped up at all, so you guys can really watch me work. I've said that in a couple videos lately that everything is so sped up and fast with all the short form content. So I thought you guys would enjoy more actual real time with client appointment, like salon style nails, and see how long each set takes and stuff like that. So I am slowly reshaping these. I like to file from underneath a lot, just so, because a lot of the time when your client comes back, the nails will grow downward or upward depending on the client. So I do like to reshape and file from underneath, and I like to make these a little bit more like a tapered, rounded look. She had shortened them a little while ago. She used to wear them a lot longer, but she was noticing that they were losing their shape or she was breaking them and stuff like that. So we went a little bit shorter now. To make this video not too long for you guys, I'm going to remove some stuff from it just so it's not way too long. So I'm using this bit here from Luminary Nail Systems, and I'm using it to get rid of some of that lifting right there. She just has a teeny tiny bit of lifting. And then I will use this to also help thin out the nail. I'm pulling her skin back when I go into the sidewalls there, and then I'm just thinning it out. I'm going from underneath a little. I'm barely using any pressure with this. I'm really actually not really taking a lot of product off, but this does help smooth everything out. And then after I have filed these all thin and they're nice and even, now I'm going to go in and prep the cuticle area. So I'm going to be using a tool to push the skin back here, and then we will use my e-file to prep with bits. So push the skin back carefully. You'll see some of her cuticle skin will like come up a little bit, so you can get all that off. You need to remove all that skin and prep that area correctly in order for nails to last 4 weeks. So after that, I'm just wiping off the dust to see where I need to file. So I pull her skin back here, and I'm going in with this bit from Get Buff Nails, and this is just a really gentle diamond bit. Going around, pull skin back again, get in there. This is super gentle. It feels really nice, actually, kind of like a little massage. That's what everybody says. Yeah, so I'm just filing around the cuticle area with this. Yeah, it's a really great bit. Highly recommend. And then the next bit I'm going in with is just a sanding band to try to blend the natural nail with the enhancement. So I'm using it on a really, really low speed so I can see exactly what I'm doing and where to put it. And I'm also using this to kind of prep the natural nail and get rid of the shine. This next bit I'm going in with is also from Get Buff Nails. I've said it before, it's kind of like a flame bit, if you guys know what a flame bit is like, but it's missing that pointy piece at the end, and that pointy piece is what people always find like they accidentally stab their client with. So this is a really great safety bit if you're a beginner. Highly recommend. After that, I'm going in with a smoothing polisher bit. So this is from Erica's ATA. I went down one side and then I actually reversed my e-file to go down the other side as well. This will help get any extra bits of skin out of the way and kind of like help for application. And after I've prepped, I'm going to go ahead and cleanse really, really well. So I'm using a scrub brush and alcohol, and I'm going to scrub, scrub, scrub and get all of that out from the sidewalls and get all the dust off her nails and her hands. So here's how they look. After that's dried, I'm going in with both primer and dehydrator. First, dehydrate everything and then go in with your primer. And then we can go in with application. So the color I always use on her, but I'm running out of, so I'm going to have to switch soon, unless I want to buy more, is Glitterbel's Pinkerbel cover. I really, really like this color. It is such a great color. It just goes with a lot of people's skin tone. So I do like this one. Pushing it close to the cuticle area, cleaning off my brush, using my fingers to move her sidewall skin out of the way, using my brush to maneuver that product where I want it without overlapping the skin, and then I'm patting and pulling the product down her nail, removing anything that was too much. So I always find when doing nails, the pinky's kind of like my practice nail, if you guys know what I mean. So I'm like, ooh, this is too runny or too, and that's kind of where I judge like how I should continue. So it depends on if my room is too warm or too cold. Anyways, so that's what I did on the pinky. I just did a thin coat and then I actually built it up, but it went a little blurry. Oh, no, I do have it there. Sorry. So I remove anything that's kind of blurry in my videos because there's really no point if you can't see what I'm doing. So I applied a little bit down and now I'm just applying more to build that up and create an apex. So I know this nail's not perfect, but I will reshape this at the end when we're done. So here I am applying on her ring finger now. You can see that I pulled her skin back a little bit with my finger, place that down farther from the cuticle area, and then I'm using my brush to push towards her cuticle area, patting gently into her sidewall area without overlapping the skin. Doing that on both sides before working the bead down the nail. You don't want to touch the skin with this because it will stick to the skin and then immediately unstick from the skin. So you'll have a little bit of lifting if you do that. So anytime you touch the skin, it'll lift. Also, you shouldn't get nail products on the skin because they're dangerous and they're meant for the nail only. So make sure that you're applying as smooth and carefully as possible. Make sure that you take your time when applying acrylic because you want to make sure that you're not being sloppy because like I said, you don't want to get monomer on the skin either because that is how contact dermatitis and nail allergies are formed. So I've applied a little bit more at the tip, feathered it upward, and then removed whatever was too much on the nail. You know what I mean? So pat, pull, and try to get even coverage. I like to apply as smooth and evenly as I can so that I have minimal finish filing to do at the end. Just shaking my jar so it's even again. You guys saw that on the side there. Picking up my bead, draining it, and then placing it down, wiping off my brush to make sure there's not extra monomer in my brush that's going to make a mess, cleaning off my brush again to make sure nothing sticks to my brush. I work my sidewalls and my cuticle area. Try not to let any product seep into the sidewalls. Her finger is bent downward because I have a stand that has her hand like kind of hangs off of. If their fingers are pointing downward, it helps with gravity to make sure nothing goes and seeps into your sidewalls. And then I'm just patting and pulling this down the nail, trying to get full and even coverage. Then I'm going to need to add a little bit more at the cuticle area to create a small apex. The apex is a little bump from the cuticle area and then it smooths out on the sidewalls and down, and the little bump there will grow with the nail, creating a balance. So you don't want flat nails. Flat nails will just snap right in half. So you need a little bit of an apex to keep the strength. So again, I'm pulling skin back, placing my bead, wiping it off, making sure that nothing sticks to it, and then pushing up towards the cuticle area and working my sidewalls. Pushing that into place, feathering it down, cleaning my brush, making sure that nothing sticks to it, and then dragging that down the nail. So here's how they look. The right hand there has already been filed, so you could kind of see what they look like finish filed versus not. So that's why I like to apply as clean and evenly as possible so that I have minimal finish filing to do. I do the same finish filing routine almost every time. So I'm using this medium cone bit. I'm going around the cuticle area. You can see around the cuticle area and the sidewalls, keeping my apex in place, barely removing product, just debulking so I have minimal filing to do by hand. This finger, this specific finger, this one, her nail kind of lifts up a little bit on the side and her cuticle area is not even. So yeah, you just have to kind of accommodate that. And this nail I'm filing under. I'm barely using any pressure because I don't want to accidentally file into the nail too much or anything or remove too much product. We just want to use this to debulk. I like to do the majority of my filing by hand. I just feel like I have more control that way. File, file, file. Super, super little dust coming up and off. This is, again, I said medium. This is a medium bit. It's not a coarse bit or fine bit. This bit I got recently. I really like it to get into the sidewall area, around the cuticle area. Just make sure that there's nothing stuck on the skin. Gets everything out of the way. And I also use this to flip my client hand and get underneath her nail. So since she's a hairdresser, she gets a little bit of staining everywhere because she didn't wear her gloves. So you can see here, she's got some staining. So I'm going to go underneath and just file away anything that could be lifted or stained. And that way she'll just have more, it's more likely to have better retention if you clean this up. I'm not filing it all away, and she's not using her acrylics to grow her natural nails out. Some people will use nail products to grow their nails out and they plan to remove them. That's not what she's doing. She's just wears acrylic all the time, literally. I did her nails for a few years and then I stopped seeing clients, and she continued to get her nails done, and then I saw clients again and she came back. So she's a long-term nail wearer. She does not want her natural nails at all. She would rather have nice shape and structure. So I'm taking my metal file and I am debulking and smoothing and evening everything out again, reshaping, going around the side cuticle area, going over everything. And then I'm going to do this on all of the nails. So you guys can just watch and then I will chat with you in a sec. Now I'm switching to a 240 grit file. So this file will smooth and even everything out because the 150 grit file is a little harsh and it'll leave scratches. So you want to get rid of any like deep scratches before going in with gel. So that's why I use a 240 to go around the cuticle area. I go around the tip and then I just go over everything again with this. So I went and cleansed everything, and that's how they look so far. So now we can do our design on top. So fun. So I chose a bunch of Unbelievabel gels from Glitterbels. So the Unbelievabel gels are super high pigmented and they're super easy to work with. So I'm just kind of doing a swirl design. I'm using a Glitterbels gel polish like art brush. This is the long brush. It's like a 20 or 22 millimeter brush. And I'm just putting product on my brush evenly. So you can see I kind of move my brush out of the frame for a sec because I'm just wiping off, making sure there's no like thick pieces of product at the tip of the tiny art brush here. You want smooth, even application. See, oh, too much. So I wiped it. Now it's even. And yeah, I'm not actually really looking at the picture to make it match perfectly. I'm just doing swirls because like I said, she doesn't want it to be exact. She just sends me ideas and then lets me kind of do it. So I did these 4 fingers and had her cure it and then did her other hand. And then I go back and do her thumb separately just so nothing gets bumped or moves out of the way. Yeah, and so I just repeat the process, but I'm using a pink now. Place that down and move and swirl around that other pink that or purple that I put down. This is such a fun and easy design so far. And you can see me wiping off my brush again and again to make sure it's even on that brush. So you want to make sure your little art brush has even coverage of gel. That is one thing that people struggle with. If there's any little dollop of gel at the tip or something, you're going to get one large kind of like it's just not going to work the way you want it to. You kind of want it to be even. So you place it down and then pull your brush. You can see I'm pulling my brush. I'm not using the tip of my brush to draw. I put the tip of my brush down and then I pull the brush and I'm drawing on the nail with all of the brush. So going in with yellow. This yellow is called Zen. If I remember the colors, I will mention them. You saw that dollop. Oh, see, it's still there. Got to get rid of that. There you go. And then we go in. You're going to get something too thick if you do it with the dollop on it. I got a little dot on there. I was like, no, you can see. But I will fix that with my top coat. Going in and doing my swirls. And then this design has a chrome line on top. So you will have to top coat everything first. So I am top coating everything with matte top coat. So this is Luminary Nail Systems and Power Matte. It cures tack free. So I'm just covering everything with this first. And then I'll give this a full cure. And then, like I said, it's tack free, so it won't have any kind of like sticky wet layer. It'll just be nice and perfectly matte right away. To do the chrome lines, you're going to take your no wipe top coat and you're going to draw where you want the chrome lines. So I'm just kind of going across against, like I'm not doing this line with the kind of rainbow look. I'm kind of choosing where I put it somewhere else. So you can see it's kind of going across like opposite. So you want to make sure this is, again, super even coverage on your liner brush because it is a lot harder to see what you're doing when it's clear. So I'm just doing thin and even strokes on the nail. And then I'm only going to cure this for 30 seconds. So I've already changed my lamp to a 30-second cure. After that's come out, I'm going to take my silver chrome and I'm just going to put that where the line is and rub that in. like scrub that into that. And then after you scrub your chrome in, which is like seriously so satisfying. I was so proud of myself for finally doing this and not being like, I was so intimidated when she sent me the photo. I'm like, oh no. But then I was like, you know what, Sarah, you can do this. And I did. So I'm going to show you guys what the thumb looks like. I'm just rubbing that in, and this isn't going to stick, luckily, isn't going to stick to your matte top coat. So after that, you're going to, again, take your liner brush. You've wanted to cure that, remember. So you cured that again and leave it as is. Then I'm taking my liner brush and I'm just going over top of my line with my No Wipe top coat again. And I am top coating just an even line of, what's it called? The chrome. So I did 2 fingers at a time, had her cure that, and then I switched her hands, because I just don't want to screw anything up. Like you can just go back and forth between the hands. So that's what I did. Just adding this on those nails. And then I'm going to give that a full cure as well. Then she came back and I'm finishing up my lines on the other nails and having her cure it. Again, back and forth between the fingers so I don't bump anything. And then you can take a alcohol and lint-free wipe and wipe off all the extra chrome, and you can see it didn't stick to anything except where you had your no wipe top coat. And then after that, you're going to want to double top coat your chrome. So I'm going over my chrome again with top coat, and that's because chrome chips. So chrome will chip on top of shiny top coat because it's shiny on top of shiny, and then you're putting shiny on top of shiny again. So it's easy to chip. So you always want to double top coat. So even if you're doing a full nail, you want to top coat and cure it and then top coat again. And that'll just keep it nice and secure. Hopefully. I mean, we'll see. She does go 4 weeks. So I mean, I expect it to last at least 3 weeks. And that's it. You don't have to do anything else. I did add cuticle oil and had her wash her hands. And here is the finished set. I love this set. They turned out so cute. Guess how long they took me? Take a second to think. It only took me 1 hour and 35 minutes. I was so seriously so proud of myself. I never try to rush my clients' nails, so I just record the time on my phone, and then I check when I do these videos. So yeah, that's pretty good timing, I'd say. So here's how they look. Love them so much, and now I feel super confident with my chrome lines. Remember, this is the photo, and then this is how they turned out. I love them so much. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow for more. Bye.